Hello, this is a follow-up video about my modded Pokémon Go Plus. I decided to make this video to show you how this works with Pokémon Go and how you should use it with Pokémon Go, and also to answer some of the most commonly asked questions. And I will be probably making a third video which will be about my overall impressions of the Pokémon Go Plus after using it for about 2 weeks. And I will also in the next video be comparing it to my previous auto catcher, which was Pokémon Plus. This was a very popular auto catcher in my area. Pretty much all the hardcore players, all the level 50s were using these. I mean, it lasted for a month on one charge. So these were very popular. So if you are undecided and you want to see some of the pros and cons of both of these, I will mention that in the next video, and also what are the possibilities of a new auto catcher coming out with the functions of the Pokemon Go Plus. So if you are interested in that, wait for another video, maybe a few days. And now we can go and I'll show you how this works with Pokemon Go. Before I connect it, I will show you the settings for the Pokemon Go Plus here, and the auto throw of the Pokeballs is turned off, and this is set to Ultra Ball, and this should be set to identify nearby Pokemon. Now before we connected it, it should be set to auto catch be off, so on the left in my case. And now we can connect it. This will be first time I'm connecting it in the morning, so the sleep rewards will pop up probably. Let's see. This is a very good function of the Pokemon Go Plus that you don't need to push the button. Okay, so now it connected it, and now it waits for me to push the button. It should stop and be green. Yes. Now it shows how long I have slept and some rewards for that. Okay. And now it waits for a manual input for me pushing the button. It will ask this repeatedly, so it will stay green, then it will flash for a while, and then it will stay green again and wait for me to push the button. So it's solid green, it still waits for me to push the button. But now when I put it in auto mode, the next time it asks for the manual input, it will do it automatically. So let's see, now I switched it, and in a few seconds when it asks for me to push the button again, it should try to catch the grow light automatically. It should go now white, yes. See, and we will see if it caught it. It didn't caught it, so now I try with the Bidoof. Yes, and it caught it, so we can confirm that here Bidoof was caught, and it's caught with an Ultra Ball. Also Rattata. Yes. Sometimes after you disconnect the Pokemon Go Plus that you have set to auto catch on, it will go into a loop of trying to go to sleep and basically saying Pikachu every 2 seconds. So what you need to do there is to switch into position off, and that will fix that. But it's a one thing that might happen to you. So if that happens and if this blinks blue, that's what you should do. It happens only, I believe it only happens when you manually disconnect it here, or you close the app before it disconnects. So be aware of that. I will probably now show you what might happen. So this is what happens when it gets stuck in a loop of basically trying to go to sleep, and it says Pikachu every 2 seconds. So what you do in that case, you just push this, and that should solve that. That's why you 100% need a switch when you do this mod, and you should not do it by just connecting the wire. And now it's fixed and you can use it as normal. I do believe that it goes into that loop only when there are Pokemon nearby that it tries to catch in the moment when it disconnects. So if there are no Pokemon nearby, I don't think it goes into that loop because it doesn't vibrate and it doesn't create the loop. So if that happens, you just push that and that should solve it. And now we will go to another part of the video, which will be answering some of the most commonly asked questions that people asked me after I put out the first video, which was very successful. Actually, I didn't expect it to have so many views, so thanks for that. What are the dimensions? The dimensions of the speaker holes are 1 centimeter by 2.1 millimeters. So those are these dimensions. This is 1 centimeter and it's 2.1 millimeters wide. And what are the dimensions of the micro switch that I use, which is this one? I measured this myself with a caliper, with a digital caliper. So it's 8.7 millimeters this way, 3.8 this way, and the stick is 1.5 by 1.5 millimeters and 4 millimeters tall. I think you can use the one that is about 3 millimeters tall. That should also be okay, and it should stick out enough for you to switch it. The most commonly asked questions: where did you bought it? Well, I bought it on the Slovak website techfan.sk. So this is a website I bought it from. It's techfan.sk. You can search for a switch here, or you can switch it to English here. And you order it by the cheapest. And this is the one that I bought for 20 cents. You can also buy this one, which is the one that goes in and out. And this should be thin enough so it fits inside the speaker hole. Yes. But compared to the one that I bought, it's much thicker. I think you should be able to still put it inside, but it will be harder. So I suggest you buy this one. And what you should do is not buy it from this side, because I believe that the shipping will be really expensive. So what you should do is probably find a site like this in your country, that the site that sells small components, and search for 2-position micro switch, small dual position switch used in toys or small scale projects. You can also go here and look at the dimensions. Now I want to show you my post on Pokémon Go Plus subreddit about my mod, and show you some comments. There are some people who did their mods. This guy, basically what he did was he used a Dremel and some small files to make a new hole in the cover, in the case, right here, which I believe is it's next to the button, and I believe it's next to the speaker, next to the vibrating motor that should be somewhere here. And I mean, he did a really good job on that, because it's really hard to use a Dremel and make it look good. So this is pretty much as good as you're gonna get it. So this is another guy who did a similar modification to mine. You can also see he took out the plastic that was holding the speaker and put a switch here. His switch looks even thinner than mine, because it sticks out through the whole, not only stick, but the whole switch. So that's very interesting. And he also did a really good job on this. He used some foam here. I used the sticky stuff to put there, and then I used the hot glue. So this is how it looks. So he really did also a really good job. And there was also another post from a guy from Finland about the micro switch that he found on a Finnish site, and this is the micro switch that he found. But look at this. I mean, are you serious? 92 euros. I don't know what any of this means. If sol doesn't mean 100 in Finnish, then I don't know how you can justify this price for a switch. If it's like 100 expert micro switches, then okay, 1792 is okay price, but this is unbelievable, really. This Finnish site. So then he wrote down that he bought some from my Slovak website TechFun, which also, if you buy from that site, the shipping will be like 20 euros. So my suggestion in that case is just look around your house, find something. Like this was an old solar lamp, very cheap one, and you know it has the switch here. Or you can use anything, pretty much any small kid's toy that lights up, and it will have switches like this, and they will probably be a little bit bigger, but you can always trim them down. You can you know, use the soldering iron to make them smaller. You can use the sandpaper, you can use a small file, you can use anything to make the stick smaller so it fits here, and it will be a much better option than buying anything for 20 euros. Okay, so that is my suggestion to do. And now I will answer some of the questions. Will you do it for me if I pay you? Well, the obvious answer is absolutely not. I will not do that because I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to handle shipping. I don't want to take any responsibility for that. Basically, I only do it for people I know, and I always did it for free. It takes me about 40 minutes if I want to be careful, maybe 30 minutes. So yeah, I will not do that for anybody. There are options for you to buy a modified Pokémon Go Plus. If you search online, I saw some advert for that. So if you want to do that, go ahead. Will the mod work if I don't cut or desolder the vibrating motor? Well, my basic understanding of this was that yeah, it should work. But someone in the comments wrote that basically they did it and they didn't cut the red wire or desolder the red wire, and it didn't work. I cannot confirm this because I didn't try to open mine. I already glued it in and I didn't want to take it apart, so I didn't do the testing. But it's something you should be aware if you want to keep the vibrating function, that it might not work. But the solution, if you really want to go for it, the solution is to use a second switch. You can use one switch for auto catch, and you can drill another hole and put another switch for vibration on off. So you will have one for vibration on off and auto catch on off. And then when you have auto catch on, you should have vibration, let's call it off. It's vibration with the cut red wire. And when you have auto catch off, you can have vibration motor connected. Yeah, so that's a very simple way how to do it. You will not be able to fit two switches here through this hole. You would need to cut another hole. And I mean, if you really want to go crazy about it, what you can do is have one switch for auto catch, one switch for vibrating motor, one switch for the speaker, and the fourth switch for the lights. So basically you can put in 4 switches. I really want to see someone do that. I will post a video about it if someone does that. And the last question is, will it work if I don't use a switch? It will work. It will definitely work, but it will work terribly because you need that switch if you want to get it unstuck, if it gets stuck sometimes in the loop, or you need the switch to turn it off when you need to go to sleep. That's most important because you cannot put it in sleep when it's connected in the auto catch mode. So you have to always switch it off before you go to sleep. And there was a solution found to this, that when someone hardwired it and basically didn't use a switch, they couldn't put it to sleep. So what they did is, I believe they stuck in the charging cable through the whole night, and then it was able to go to sleep. But you don't want to have it charging for the whole night, so yeah, you shouldn't do that. The answer is the switch. And if you are really having any trouble finding it somewhere, you can use a bigger one. You can find some, I mean, the solar lamp, I believe it costs about €1. So you can just buy it and take out the switch. This is actually very easy to open and take out the switch. You will also have some wires that you can use. So that's one thing. But you can use any kid's toy. They all have similar switches like that. Yeah, so that's it. That's the end of the video.